On today's show,
we discuss the best plays, moments, and memes from the Cavs' epic comeback in MSG.
the original Isaiah Thomas joins us on set to play Lock It In.
And is it time for the Clippers to move on from Doc Rivers?
It's Tuesday, November 14th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to the starters. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, watching later on YouTube, listening to the podcast, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tess Mellis.
Thank you for joining us.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, it is the bearded one, it's Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo!
Hey-yo! TK, what's up, my man?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, it seems like we've got a new press conference bid on our hands because yesterday, Steve Kerr pulled out a Rubik's Cube to solve after announcing that Steph Curry would be missing last night's game. This, of course, comes a week after he did something similar, pulling out a pair of fingernail clippers to trim his nails after announcing that Kevin Durant would be missing that night's game. Steve Kerr, he's got some jokes. And it brings us to today's question: what's Steve Kerr's next time waster? For instance, I suppose he could try to set up a wireless router or play a game of Jenga, or if he's got a ton of news, build an entire IKEA bookshelf. I hear the Billy is beautiful. But we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter. What's Steve Kerr's next time waster? Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get those tweets in. We got a fun show tonight. Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas will join us live on set to play a little Lock It In. We're going to talk about the Clippers and their losing streak. Lee's got the very solid play, but we start with a little what you got. If you're new to the show, we're going to debate some questions Trey's going to throw at us, ultimately decide on an answer, but you got to be careful. There's only one correct response, and that's whatever TK says it is. Trey, take it away.
It was another classic evening for LeBron in the Garden, but a couple of moments stood out, like the time he stonewalled Kristaps Porzingis on one end, then went to the other end, scored an and one, and flexed that big, beautiful gun. Or how about the time LeBron had Kristaps on him late in the fourth, backed way out, then came back in and drained a monster three to give the Cavs a lead they wouldn't lose. Guys, what was the signature LeBron moment? The flex or the three? What you got?
I got the flex.
What the flex?
He's not
We've
a
seen the
three-point
flex.
shooter. Yeah, but that's what LeBron is about. He's about being a truck. He's about going through the lane, letting everybody fly off him, and flexing those guns. Combine that with a great defensive play. This isn't regular season LeBron not playing defense. He took the toughest task on that play. The 7-3 Porzingis came, showed some finesse there.
Carried it.
That beautiful spin. Yeah, not the NBA.
And there it is, slapping the guns.
And then, yeah, when you're flexing in the Garden, you win.
I love me some MSG moments, though, and it's nice when one of the greatest players of all time pops a three in the now face of the Knicks franchise in Kristaps Porzingis, to the point where he saw the matchup, pulled it back before he got going.
He settled.
And then hit the three, the dagger three, in his eye. And forget the shot. Maybe the best part of the whole thing was him, like an old Reggie Miller, turning to the MSG crowd and letting them know that I am the king of New York, and I know we'll get to those Instagrams and so far. Bill Beta, I think it's that one.
It was cruel and cold the way that he did that. Just he taunted everyone in the stands there by saying, "I'm just going to back up on the best player on your team and then drill a three-pointer on his eye, win the game, and then go off and celebrate." It has to be the three for sure.
Trey, what is the answer?
Guys, I'm with you. It's the three. That's his shot. If you listen to the MSG feed, Clyde Frazier is literally calling for it to happen as it happened. But it was a busy night for Enes Kanter last night. Aside from putting up 20 and 16, he also acted as an enforcer during LeBron Frank Ntilikina scuffle. And then after the game, he continued his spat with the king.
I don't care who you are, king, what do you call yourself, king, queen, princess, whatever you are. You know what, we're going to fight. And nobody out there going to punk us.
Guys, is Enes Kanter a hero or a zero? What you got?
Of course he's a hero. You can't call him a zero for that. He's defending his other player. I don't understand how you can call him a zero. We just picked a couple rhyming words there. I mean, why is he a zero?
Well, he said, "You're not going to come and punk us."
They got
After he
lost.
lost.
Yeah,
He got
he's
punked.
not their best player. Yeah.
And he wasn't on the court during those crucial moments.
Okay. So you don't want him defending his teammates?
That's fine. That's great for him. But he was sort of in LeBron's head earlier in the game. Then LeBron went out there and just destroyed him. And then afterwards, he's calling him a king and a princess and a queen and all that sort of stuff. I mean, if you're going to say
you're
that
saying
stuff,
you're saying he was sort of a hero right up until the part where he kept talking after the loss.
yeah,
in the
exactly.
locker room.
You got to occasionally say, look, he was too good for us on that day. He can't keep talking after the game, after they've lost that game, when LeBron hits that dagger 3 like that. I mean, I like the front that he has, but you got to go and back it up.
Yeah, well, he didn't have the chance to be in on the fourth quarter. He wasn't out there
Why?
because he wasn't out there. He doesn't make the
Was he injured?
decisions. Okay. Yeah, he was injured.
Okay.
No, he wasn't injured.
Right.
But he's never in LeBron's head. There was no
Well,
doubt.
LeBron brought it up, though, at shoot-around in the morning, remember? LeBron was saying, like, Enes Kanter's always got something to say. And Enes got involved here when Frank and
See, I have
LeBron
no
get into it.
problem with any
That's
of that.
great. That's great.
Yeah, Frank's sticking up for himself, bumping into LeBron. Here he comes. Okay, he's the enforcer of this team, I guess, and that's fine. But yeah, I'm with you. He was a hero up until he got in the locker room after you did get punked. You gave up 43 points in the fourth quarter, and you're still going at the King. You're still going at him. I think that you should have just not done that part.
Did you see what happened last season when the Cavs visited New York? They were flipping water bottles, as Enes Kanter said, on the floor during the game. This is what was happening. So somebody needs to speak up. Somebody needs to defend MSG. This can't be happening during a live game. This is during live action. So somebody speaking up, good for him.
Trey, we're torn on this one too. What's the answer?
I'm siding with Tass here. I
Yep.
think he's a hero. If you're getting in a fight on the court in MSG, you're a Knicks hero. I will
For
agree.
life.
He is a 0 for the princess and queen insults. Come on, we gotta be better than that. Anyways, Batman's gotta have a Robin, especially in Gotham City. And there were a couple last night, like Dwayne Wade, who went for 15 points and 8 rebounds, including a couple big on the offensive glass late in the fourth. Or how about Kyle Korver, who was Flames incarnate in the fourth quarter, scoring 19 of his 21 while knocking down 5 threes in the period. Guys, who was the better sidekick, Wade or Korver? What you got?
Coaches always say they'd rather take good offense over good defense. Kyle Korver was just on fire last night. Those 5 3-pointers, he didn't let what had happened in the previous 3 quarters get into his head. He just knew what his job is. Go out there, catch the ball, shoot it. 19 points, career high quarter score for him as well. Hit some huge ones. Showed perfect execution on how to move without the ball as well. That's what's really important here. If you're a kid at home watching, watch how he got into position, got those shots. Incredible passes by LeBron. What Wade did was fantastic. They don't need that if Kyle Korver isn't hitting these shots.
It is pretty crazy. He's had 19 and a quarter twice now in his career. That was phenomenal, of course. They don't win without that. That being said, Dwayne Wade, playing off the bench for the first time in his career, now showing he has to do the dirty work, and being exemplary out there doing the dirty work is a shocker to me. I mean, yeah, he scored 15 points, but to me, he helped seal this game with his D, with a couple steals and a monster block. And then the offensive rebounds, he didn't take a shot in the last couple minutes, but he was there to get key offensive rebounds. That is not Dwayne Wade's role, throughout his career, although he pitches in those areas. But now, at this point in his career, he has to be that. So it's a good sign for the Cavs going forward.
Both instrumental to the big comeback. Trey, you're the only one with the answer. What is it?
I think it's got to be Kyle Korver. The Cavs were down by 15 without him hitting all those threes. They don't even have a chance for Dwayne Wade to get all those offensive boards, though. Nice boards. Anyways, I hope you guys like memes, because the Grams were a blasting last night. A whole grip of Cavs. Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, Dwayne Wade, Jeff Green, and Iman Shumpert got their brawn on, put up some Arthur pics along with the caption, Mood. As for LeBron, he posted a pic of himself in MSG with the caption, You're welcome, King of New York, and some hashtags. Guys, what's the best Instagram, Arthur or King of New York? Oh, what you got?
This is tough. Do you go with the entire team, all going with the Arthur mood, or do you go with LeBron saying, You're welcome?
LeBron.
You're going LeBron?
Yeah. Uploading a photo of himself in Madison Square Garden saying, my favorite playground, my favorite place, I'm the king of New York. I mean, he's taunting the Knicks by saying, your playground, I'm the king of it. It's LeBron. He's great. He's great at this. Great photo, by the way.
My only little problem with it, he didn't upload it. He just grabbed it from the NBA's Instagram account and just threw it up. No credit to the photographer. He's done that twice in a week.
Yeah, he's the king.
Ordi Damas, the photographer. Give some credit to Jim Ice. Give some credit to somebody.
The memes are pretty good, too. I like the idea of maybe the entire Cavs locker room going, all right, who's going next? Who's posting
hilarious.
Arthur next?
That's
Okay, I
very
got
funny.
it. Isaiah, you're going to start us off?
That was
okay.
the plan,
Hey,
right?
Channing, yeah. Of course. That's very, very funny. I mean, very petty, but very, very
Was
funny.
it planned then, you think?
I mean, I think
All of
I don't
these
know.
guys.
I think Isaiah did it, and then it was like snowballed from there. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
But Trey, what's the answer? Is it the Arthur memes or is it LeBron's Instagram?
Oh, I'm Team Arthur here because I got to text my sister about the NBA this morning. Very exciting stuff.
She's a big Arthur fan.
Loved Arthur. Arthur number 1, Hey Arnold number 2.
Maybe she meant Bruce Arthur.
Maybe.
Oh my god! All right, coming up next, Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas joins us live on set. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Starters, where it's a players-only party tonight on NBA TV. It's the Raptors versus the Rockets, and one of those players joining us right here, right now, Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas.
What's up? What's up?
Thanks for coming back to the Starters. This is like your 4th or 5th appearance on the show.
I wish I was a regular. I mean, really,
We can make that happen.
I love this show.
We appreciate it.
And the best part, the best time I ever had on the show is when we were in Vegas, and I got the silly string.
Oh,
That was awesome.
we don't have any
bring
silly
it back.
string. Yeah, we don't have any silly string today, but we are going to play Lock It In
Okay.
with Zeke. And here's how this works. We're going to give you a few statements about the NBA. And if you 100% agree, you're going to press that red button right there and you're going to lock it in. If you
Okay.
don't agree, you're not entirely on board, that's all right. We can talk it out and we can move on to the next one. Simple as that.
Straight 100.
All right, first one. Our first one's something that we have been debating here on the Starters for the last, 24 hours. And that has to do with Rudy Gobert going down on Friday night when Heat guard Dion Waiters crashed into his leg going for the loose ball there. Now, the Jazz center is unfortunately out about 4 to 6 weeks, and he initially called the play dirty. So, Dion Waiters' dive was dirty. Do you lock that in?
I can't lock that in.
Can't lock that in.
No.
Can't lock that in. That's just Gobert a little bit in his feelings, like Dion Waiters said, or he's just upset because he's injured.
Probably upset because he's injured. Now, if they had some beef going way back when, then I can go to the intent.
Okay.
Dion, he's not a guy that like normally is known for diving for loose balls. So he probably didn't know what he was doing down there.
Right.
So the way that he dove, it was questionable, but I don't think he's just a good diver for loose balls.
Did you ever have that happen to you? Either you going for a loose ball and unfortunately rolling into someone, or someone going for a loose ball and rolling into you?
Actually, when Rodman first came to the Pistons,
Yep.
he dived on the floor for everything. And we didn't know how to respond to him because we're in practice and he's diving over the chairs and there's nobody, really, there's no fans, there's nobody in the bit, and
Wow.
he's diving like, straight out, trying to get loose balls. And, so we always was careful of him, but we never thought it was intentional though.
You never told him then to be like, hey, maybe don't be doing that in practice. We don't want anyone to get injured.
Brownfield one time said, that the floor, it doesn't give.
No. All right, next one. Speaking of the Pistons here, they're off to a 10-3 start. Your statement, 10-3 Pistons are for real. Do you lock it in?
Oh,
He has locked it in.
that feels good.
You're buying what the Pistons are selling us right now.
I think they've gone back to their roots. They defend and they rebound. They're a dirty work team. They're not a pretty team. They're not flashy, but they get the job done. And as long as they playing through Tobias Harris and Drummond, they're going to be all right.
It's pretty cool to see Tobias Harris grow to 20-point scorer, and Drummond back. I mean, where did he go last year? But he's back shooting free throws.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, they're the underdogs now.
Mm-hmm.
So they've taken on that mentality that, it's us against the world. And that's a Detroit mentality.
Right.
That's a Piston mentality. They're not the pretty team, they're the dirty work team.
All right, next one here. The Raptors will retire Vince Carter's jersey. Does Zeke lock it in?
Nice.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. This
Lock
is
it in.
no doubt to you. That
No
this ends up
doubt.
happening.
No doubt.
And you believe well deserved.
I believe well deserved, but I think there's two more jerseys that should be retired.
Okay.
Damon Stoudemire's jersey should be retired first.
All right. Interesting.
Then it's Vince and Tracy. Those three players, and then I'm gonna throw one more in terms of Marcus Camby. Those four players should have
You're going with some old school Raps
well
players.
because
here. I like it.
they laid the foundation.
Yep.
Those were the guys that everybody bought into believing. Before Vince Carter, it was Mighty Mouse who was carrying carrying all of Canada, you know. And, you know, those 4 guys, what they sacrificed and what they gave hope. When Vancouver was folding, Toronto was rising because of those 4 guys. And, you know, I got to give a shout out to my man Doug Christie because he was solid also. But those 4 guys, in terms of the original Raptors, they were solid.
Vince, a no-brainer, though.
Yes,
Vince,
Vince, a
All right.
no-brainer.
Next one here.
Stoudemire, Rookie of the Year, no-brainer too.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're right. I mean, the thing is, I guess some people say they didn't have long careers with the Toronto Raptors in Camby and Dana,
Well,
but you're
well,
saying
we-
if they had the impact, then that's good enough for you.
Look, if Tony Allen can get it retired in Memphis, come on, man.
All right.
And I love you, Tony. We from Chicago and everything, but you know what I'm saying.
All right, next one here. Ennis Cantor could have played on the Bad Boys. Do you lock it in, Zeke?
No, I'm not gonna lock that in.
Okay, you thought about it that.
you thought about it.
And the reason why is because I'm thinking about, you know, Mahorn, Lambier, Buddha, Sally, Rodman. You know, Lambier would have had. He'd had a difficult time with Lambier in the locker room.
Okay. Did you like Cantor sticking up for his rookie and with LeBron?
I like that he stuck up, you know, for his rookie. But when you talk about Lambier, you know, Scott Hastings, Tree Rock, I mean, you had to have a lot of metal as a big guy to come into that locker room, you know, and you know. But I like that he stuck up, you know, for Frank in this day and age.
Right.
You know, he's become their enforcer, and you can be an enforcer in the league right now because you don't have to hit anybody.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a little different.
Yeah, so you can be a vocal enforcer because you can't be a physical enforcer. So anybody can assume the enforcer role.
That's a good way to put it. All right, a couple more here. Let's try and get these in. Will Smith can beat you one-on-one. Do you lock it in?
In the movies, yes.
The classic Fresh Prince of Bel-Air clip.
In the movies, yes.
Where Will Smith, while Will Smith is dreaming, I guess, takes on Isaiah Thomas and lights you up in his dream, at least.
Well, you know, I still have basketball dreams, and I still dream that I dream, and sometimes in my basketball dreams, that I'm Michael Jordan, and I'm dunking on him. I'm the one that's flying through the air with my tongue out, and I'm dunking on you, Michael.
I love it. All right, final one here. Sherlyn Champagne is dry with a totally crisp, fresh, and fruity palate. Yeah, we knew he's locking that
Lock that baby in! And guess what? It's only 90 calories.
Zeke, we can't thank you enough for coming
Thank
out.
you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Isaiah Thomas, always the best. We got to take a break. When we return, what's wrong with the Clippers? They're on quite the losing streak. We'll get into that and more with Phil in the Blank. You got to bring us some champagne.
Yeah, next
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Toast to that.
I will send it over for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Welcome back to the show. Time for some Fill in the Blank fun. TK, take it away.
All right, while Lee was sleeping, the LA Clippers lost to the 76ers for their 6th straight loss after a 5-2 start. They've been losing to playoff hopefuls, and they're missing a couple of starters, but I need you guys to fill in the blank. The Clippers' problem is blank.
I think it's injuries. Is that where you're going?
Lack of depth, yeah. I mean, when they've got these injuries, guys coming in aren't really able to fill in. And this was the risk when they signed Danilo Gallinari in the off-season. He's an okay player. He's not really playing that well when he is playing right now, but when he gets injuries, it costs them, and they don't have the depth to come in and make up for it.
Yeah, Teodosic out in the second game of the season. Now Gallinari, who is unfortunately always seems to be injured. He's missed the last couple. Patrick Beverley, that's a huge loss for the Clippers team. That's 60% of your opening night starting lineup, not in the lineup. That's a tough blow for any team.
Definitely. But they have been in games. They've been in close games. And against the Sixers, Blake Griffin said it after the game, we just didn't shoot the ball well. I mean, you don't need to go through your legs and then toss up a 3-ball in that situation. Again, there's time on the shot clock. You can move it around a little bit. The step-back shots just weren't working. They're shooting under 30% in clutch situations this season. Just move the ball a little bit more.
Trey, next one.
All right, after catching an inadvertent elbow to the face from his teammate Aaron Baines, Kyrie Irving will be back wearing a mask tonight against the Nets. Kyrie balled out when he had to wear a mask way back in 2012-13 and recently admitted it's caused a craze on Instagram as well as social media. But I want you guys to fill in the blank. The best mask of all time is blank.
All time.
All-time mess. Talk right
I'm taking
here.
it to the rink. I'm going Jerry Cheevers.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jerry
he was
Cheevers.
goaltender for the Bruins. Won 2 cups with the Bruins back in the early 70s.
Oh, you remember Cheevers?
This mask
What's that, carrot
was
on there? What is that?
awesome, man. Fantastic. They added the stitches every time he took a puck to the face off that thing. So that's just a cool mask, iconic mask.
Jerry
Yeah,
Cheevers.
well, speaking of cool and iconic, I'm going with Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. It's going to the rink as well, really, because it's a hockey mask.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, here it is from actually Jason Takes Manhattan. Not the best one in the series, actually, but just everyone knows when you see that, you know exactly what movie you're watching. There's no debate.
It's no debate. But Kyrie's black mask is phenomenal.
The coolest.
The coolest, and he had an incredible performance in MSG while wearing that mask. Whoa, the slow
Zorro,
motion,
man.
tongue pulling out. Yeah, he had 41 in this one. I mean,
The straps aren't coming undone.
And now they've been outlawed. I mean, this black mask will live on in history forever because you can't wear the black mask anymore. And that season, he shot better with the black mask than without it.
A couple of players have had big games wearing that black mask.
Kobe, focus.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. You're right. All right, we got to take one more break. When we come back, Lily hits us with the very solid play. Don't go anywhere.
Beyond the Paint brings you stories of basketball and the people who live it.
Why does this academy belong here in India?
The potential is incredible.
Big opportunity for me.
What a game! I love what I do. When you love something, it doesn't feel like work.
He just has a really good perspective on the game and life.
He's able to have humility with confidence. That's a hard thing to strike.
New Beyond the Paint episode tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern right here on NBA TV. Looks great. Trey, we asked the people, what's the next Steve Kerr time waster? They've chimed in on Twitter. You got a few of the best answers.
Yeah, some good ones. Gavin says Steve Kerr's gonna pull out all 7 of his rings and clean them. Would be certainly a baller move. Clay, straight up Sudoku solving. Remember Sudoku? And Michael says he's gonna binge Stranger Things as a short series, but watch out for those Demogorgons, right?
Tonight's pick 'em play. Oh, I hate when this happens. Raptors Rocks. We all got the Rockets.
Even the Raptors homers aren't
Yeah,
going
we all got the Rockets. They're cruising right now. So got them on NBA TV. Lily, who gets VSP honor?
We're going out to Los Angeles for a very late VSP. 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Clippers fizz the ball around, finish with a swish bomb. That's what I call a very solid play.
Great stuff. We had a blast recording the Starters Twitter show. Join us live on Twitter on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. But if you missed it, check it out on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the Starters podcasts. Again, tonight on NBA TV. Raptors, Rockets, players only, baby. Should be a good game. That's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern.
The Rockets' winning streak will end one day. Just probably not tonight. All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember to get yourself warm. All you got to do is just dance a little bit. That's what we do before the show every day.
Warm up. Brace the night, people. Oh, David Brent in the house.